Hello guys, Beast here. Today I'm back with another video. This time it will be my very first Protoss guide. So a couple of days ago I did a guide on Terran versus Protoss from Terran point of view. Now I will do Protoss guide on the same matchup, just so I can show you guys how you should play PvT in my opinion and opinion of many pro players as well. This build is very safe, very standard. This is, I think, something that will become the norm in PvT, and especially after the Oracle nerf, this build does not use Oracles, so you don't have to worry like, oh, what if I learn this build and then the Oracle gets nerfed? Don't worry about it. This build is not a Stargate opener, so even after the new patch that is coming in 7-8 days, you know, you don't need to change your playstyle or the build. You'll be absolutely fine. So the way we'll do this is I will show you the build order against AI. So I will show you the exact build order, what you should be making, what you should be going, why you should be going certain things, and then we're going to analyze the actual gameplay replay from Zest versus Innovation game. Okay, first things first, obviously, just like every game, you want to build a pylon on 14, and you usually want to add your first pylon next to the gas geyser, so you can kind of build, you know, a gateway here, or even if it was on this side, pylon, gateway, and then cybercore. Now, the first chrono boost you want to be using is after you start your gateway. So as soon as you start your gate, chrono boost your probes once, and then on 16 get a gas. And this is the point where I would tell you to scout, or you can even do a gateway scout, which means the moment you start your gateway you can scout with a probe across the map. Some pro players like Zest don't scout in the early game because they're pretty confident they can defend anything. But like I said, if you're new to this build, if you're still practicing it, definitely do, once you build the gateway, scout with the probe just to make sure you're not getting cheesed or anything like that. Now, you can see I have 16 of my minerals, 16 probes, and then I'm starting to mine from my gas. On 400 minerals, I will drop the Nexus. And as soon as you drop the Nexus, you want to be starting your cybercore as well.
Not enough minerals.
There we go. And again, completing this like mini wall off in case the Terran drops later on, that you can just kind of, you know, it will help you out with chasing Reapers so they don't run behind your mineral line, and you can kill them a lot quicker. Now, I will not be using chrono boost yet. There's no point because the gas isn't even done, and the timing will work out by the time third probe comes out, the gas finishes, so no need to waste your chrono boost. The second chrono boost in the game we'll be using is on Stalker. The reason for that is the Reaper will be coming and you kind of need to get the Stalker out as fast as you can, just so you don't, you know, bleed out workers for, well, for no reason. The amount of Stalkers that you want to have in this early game after expanding is 2. So I'm going to start up another one, and what I've seen Zest do especially is he chrono boosts twice into the gateway. You know, just gets that Stalker out, chases away the Reaper, just preventing the scouting. And once your Nexus on the natural is done, chrono boost that, and from now on, until your Robo is done, you will be saving energy on both main and the natural Nexus. So this Stalker and the second one are there to deny the Reapers. I started my Robo. I'm gonna pause here just for a second. So, again, the chrono boosts are something that are really important because they are reworked and they work differently. So once again, first chrono goes after the gateway is done onto the probes. Once your cybercore is done, you make 2 Stalkers and you chrono boost twice into them just to make sure you kill that Reaper and kind of deny the scouting so the Terran doesn't know what tech you're going for. Now, the build order, I'm going to explain a little bit what I'm going to do because the build itself will advance quite quickly, so I don't want you guys to miss anything. So what I'll be doing next is I'm adding Robo, and even though you don't need observers to deflect Widowmine harass, going Robo with this build is just very, very safe. You get the obs super quickly, scout across the map, and kind of know what your opponent is doing, and you can prepare accordingly. After I add the Robo, I will be adding Twilight Console because you want to get that fast blink. As you guys know, the Stalkers are buffed, so they're very good now. They're trading against Bio really well, so you definitely want to get blink as fast as you can. And, you know, just be able to either deflect drops or even put a little bit of pressure on your Terran opponent. Let's resume the replay. Okay.
Yes, the game
So,
is resumed.
right now, all you're doing is making probes. You don't need more than 2 Stalkers at this point because it's too early in the game for Terran to do anything. Getting Robo, getting Twilight Council as well. And you can see I'm making probes, not using Chrono Boost. The reason for that is I want to Chrono Boost the observers and get across the map and see what the Terran player is doing. I'll add 2 more gateways. The reason for that is, well, you simply need some gateway production before getting a 3rd. Otherwise, that's kind of too greedy. I'm going to add another gas, and I'm going to add pylon in the front, just in case the Terran, you know, goes for some kind of push that you scout with observer, so you can make some shield batteries and kind of help yourself out with that. Twilight is done. You can see the minerals and gas work out pretty nicely. That you can just start upgrading that as soon as possible. And this is kind of the point where the game gets, you know, heated up and the game kind of picks up. I'm only getting 1 gas, if you see right here. The reason for that is you simply don't need any more gas. And at this point in the game, that is. And my warp gate is done. I'm going to pause right here again.
Game pause.
So what you want to do from here on out, this is kind of the breaking point in PvT. Your observer is going across the map. And that's when you need to kind of make adjustments to your build if there's a need for that. So let's say my observer is moving across the map and I scout Terran army coming. What I need to do is react instantly. So what that means is I'm going to Chrono Boost our Immortal, I'm going to warp 3 Stalkers, and I'm going to try to push towards the Terran army to kind of poke while they're moving towards my base. In order to, you know, kind of get as much damage done, delay their push, whether it's tank or just with cyclones, and you want to delay from getting your 3rd base a little bit. Now, if you scout across the map and you see that Terran is going 3cc or just standard bioplay, and his factory is just in the making with 3 barracks, feel free to add the 3rd base. You can see I have enough money for it, and what I'll be doing now is I'll get up to maybe 3 to 5 observers that are going to be on the map, just knowing when the Terran or where the Terran plans to hit, and just having all the map information I need so I can move my Stalkers in position to deflect any drops or just kill any pushes. So I'll be adding the 3rd, getting a few more observers, assuming that the Terran is expanding or not attacking right at this moment, and just transitioning further on that I will explain as soon as I resume. Another thing that you can do and you should do if Terran is doing the immediate push when your first observer is going across the map, add 1 or 2 shield batteries on the natural, even add a shield battery in the main in your mineral line just in case there's some drop coming, because shield battery are really good, and there's simply no reason you know, why not make them this early in the game, because they just have really good value. Now, we're going to play the game as if Terran just expanded and everything is standard.
Game on, pal.
I mean, like going to the 3rd or just doing a normal bio push. So I'm getting a 3rd base right now, like I mentioned. And I'm scouting with this observer, just checking what the Terran is doing. I don't want to get caught off guard. And let's say you just see 3 racks bio. What you can do is what I like to call it, just siege up the observer with the new surveillance mode ability to gain more vision, and slowly but surely, you know, keep macroing up. Your blink should be like halfway done. You can do another Chrono Boost into it, and from here on out, what you can do is, if the Terran doesn't have any siege tanks, you can just simply go across the map, put a little bit of pressure because you will have blink, add 2 forges because you want to get your upgrades rolling. And when the blink is done, I will be adding charge upgrade as well. So, if the Terran player is, let's say, around the ramp, what you can do is, you know, poke a little bit when your blink is done, get some free damage basically done, and from then on out, you can, you know, just go back in your base. Now, research complete, blink is done. What I'll be doing now, adding upgrades chrono boost those. You want to get those as fast as you can, and then just add a bunch of gates. You will see your minerals going up quite a bit, so you might as well just get a lot of gates now, because no matter if the Terran open 2 or 3 base, they will be adding quite a lot of production and putting quite a lot of pressure on you very, very soon. Oops. You want to go up to 8 gates, by the way. I done goofed. Once your third is fully saturated, what you can do is slowly but surely add the gases. You can add the gas on the natural base as well. And the reason for that is the transition after this is high Templars. So you're going to need a lot of gas in order to, you know, just be able to produce a lot of them and just get a lot of storms out. Now, this is around the time where Terran will be pushing. Luckily, you have all these observers on the map, so what you can do is whatever the Terran is pushing, you can add some shield batteries, a few here, maybe a few on the natural, and with all these observers, if you look at the map, I have vision everywhere, so I'll be able to defend no matter where the Terran player is going. You can also add a War Prism if you want to harass the Terran, which is always, in my opinion, a good idea. Still chrono boosting the upgrades, and from here on out you will be chrono boosting 2 upgrades at a time. Getting an Immortal or 2 is always a good idea. And you can see that for right now I have 1 sentry, which is for Guardian Shield plus Force Fields. You have a lot of Stalkers to either deflect drops or just straight up fight. And yeah, +2/+2 about to start. There's a little SV scouting. And the moment Templar Archives finish, you can add Storm. You should be able to crush the first Terran push with shield batteries if they go for it. Again, having observers in position like this one, and this one, and this one will give you enough time to react to any kind of drop. You can already go and get a 4th base. It's not too early, which you guys will see in the gameplay video as soon as we finish this. So, I'm adding High Templars, adding Zealots, adding the supply block as you can see as well. And yeah, this is pretty much, in my opinion, the build that will become the norm. You get 3 base very quickly, you get Blink, you get Robo, you're very safe against anything, you're open to adjust to whatever strategy your opponent is doing, and then from here on out you will go into a lot of High Templars, a lot of Charge Lots, a lot of Stalkers, Zealots, while chrono boosting your upgrades. And the whole point of this build is to just get really fast 3 base and then just kind of power up on gateway units and try to put pressure on the Terran very early once you get 2-2, because you should be ahead on upgrades. Again, you can add a War Prism just to harass on the other side of the map, and from here on out what I would do is just add even maybe 4 more gateways, because you're not using your money on any other tech. You know, you're not transitioning to Stargates, you're not transitioning to RoboBay, which obviously you could at this point if that's something you want. But with just sheer amount of units, you should be able to kind of overwhelm the Terran player in the perfect situation. Now, that is as far as the build order goes. I will leave this replay in the description of this video so you guys can follow and kind of, you know, watch replay on your own and learn from it if I miss something. But now let's get into the actual game of Zest versus Innovation, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a, you know, analysis of why Zest does some things and how you should react to certain things. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're back with the replay of the actual gameplay video of this build. This is Zest vs Innovation. This game happened, I think, 5 days ago. So, you know, very fresh build, very fresh a game as well, not outdated, and obviously made for this patch. So, as I was talking about it earlier, Zest doesn't probe scout, which I suggest you guys do until you get comfortable with the build. He will be dropping the Nexus on 14. oh no, sorry, 400 minerals, getting the cyber core, getting the gas, and then getting the pylon, plus resuming the probe production. You can see this little probe basically does everything. You know, starts the nexus, starts the cyber core, starts the gas, starts the pylon, and then goes back into gas mining. Now, I'm going to speed things up a little bit because we've already seen this part. Again, first chrono boost went on the nexus, second went on the gateway, third went on the gateway, just to be able to deny this little unknowing Reaper. As you can see, the Stalker comes out just in time, so you don't have to worry about anything. He's adding the Robo again, or not again, but he's adding the Robo. And the second Stalker, you know, reinforcement will be able to chase this Reaper down and kind of stop the annoyance. Almost. Boom. You can see he's saving up chrono boosts right now, getting Twilight, getting 2 more gates, and yeah, just like I was showing you guys, really quick Robo, followed up by Twilight, followed up by 2 more gates, chrono boosting that Observer. He really wants to get information of what the Terran is doing. You can see his vision, he didn't see anything. Sending the obs straight across the map. And remember, you don't need to have an observer with your army or in your mineral lines in the early game, because the Widow Mines get revealed after they shoot their projectile. So you can just kind of send your observers across the map, or you know, have them on the map like here or here to prevent the drops. Now, blink is started, all good. You can see warp gates finished, getting in gates, and before he even warps more units, he only has 2 stalkers right now. He is already making a 3rd base, and just, you know, will be transitioning to more and more macro. Looking at the natural, he has that 3rd gas started, and again, the reason why you don't make 4th gas instantly, well, you simply don't need it, right? You're only going to be making stalkers, you're not taking 2 Colossus, not taking 2 High Templars yet, so no need for that 4th cast, because it would only delay your expansion and just gateway production. So once he scouts across the map, he saw that there's 2 barracks, but he can assume that there's a 3rd one as well. He sees the starport timing, so he knows right now there's absolutely nothing for him to worry about. You know, that's why he's moving across the map. He knows there's no drop, so the way he's thinking is, well, I might as well move across the map, poke, because there's only Marines. He even knows there's no siege tanks because the factory is making a starport. So he's just gonna try to pick off Marine here and there, and then just kind of move back, and that's it. If the starport was done, what I would suggest for you guys is stay at home, kind of try to see where the medevacs are moving, and just don't overextend, because you might be, you know, losing a lot of probes. Back at home, again, he's making the double forge after the 3rd base. He's making probes, already rallying them to the 3rd, and you know, just positioning his observers wherever he needs to make sure that he's not surprised. And just like I was making earlier, he was making a lot of observers. He is already up to 4 this early in the game. It's 5 minutes, and he's just positioning them everywhere, because in this patch, one thing that is true for Protoss players, defending drops is a lot harder in this patch than the previous one, because of the removal of the mothership core. That's why you need a lot of observers, and you cannot get out of position, because you will be losing a lot of workers, and even perhaps the Nexus or some kind of important tech. So, which is why you also get a fast blink, so you can kind of deflect those drops. You can see him adding a lot of gates, 5 more gates, for in total of 8. And yeah, he's just pumping out probes, getting 2 sentries. I got 1, so you should probably learn, you know, learn from Zest and make 2 sentries instead of 1 like I did. He will be making the gases very soon, because he will be transitioning to those High Templars. And again, Stalker's just chilling. He has the observer here, he sees that the army's here, so he knows he doesn't need to go home yet. Sees that the medevacs are out, and the bunker gets salvaged, and this is what I was talking about. He just pokes a little bit, picks off a Marine or 2, gets 2 Marines, gets out, no harm done. Now, because of this, the 8 warp gates are now perfectly timed, they're finishing, and he can start warping in units, constantly because he's basically saturated on 3 base and he doesn't really need to worry about anything as far as economy goes. He finished making probes. He has 62. He can probably add 3 more. He didn't take this gas yet. Yeah, he's adding 3 more. And you know, now the time is to just pump out as many upgrades, as many units, and transition to High Templars. In my opinion, he probably could have transitioned to High Templars already. I made High Templar, damn, what is it called? Templar Archives, brain fart. I made Templar Archives about 20 seconds ago from this point, and the reason for that is you already have a lot of gas, you have a lot of minerals, so you will be definitely warping in Zealots with that charge that will be ending soon. So you might as well. But I think he was just distracted with trying to poke, trying to multitask, because even Zest and Innovation are only humans. Well, maybe not Innovation, because he's a machine, but, you know, Zest for sure. And again, look at this. Look at how fast the 4th base is from Zest. He knows that he can defend this. He's not fearing. He sees the Terran push is coming. And Terran player just started his 3rd, but Zest doesn't care, and he will be starting a 4th base very, very soon. And again, the shield batteries are coming up. Let me see, he's making 2. Oh, he's making 2 shield batteries here because he sees the Terran army moving from this side and he just wants to be safe. Now, if this was the old patch, the Terran army would probably demolish the Protoss army, to be honest. But again, the Stalkers got changed and they're now able to kind of fight the Terran army straight on a little bit better. And you can see Zest pops a Guardian Shield, uses some force fields I think soon, and just kind of plays it safe, you know, well, except that blink. But just waits, because at this point you know that the Terran opponent is behind on economy, behind on upgrades, so there's no need for you to like charge him down and kill everything, unless you're sure you will. So from here on out, just wait, just keep warping units because your army is getting stronger and stronger, and Terran is kind of on a timing that if he doesn't do something now, he will simply get overwhelmed by a sheer amount of units. He should be starting +2/+2 very soon, and again, he still doesn't have Templar Archives, which I think is a mistake, because he could have had it sooner, but again, those things happen. Terran is engaging here, a couple of force fields plus the charge swaps just kind of push away this Terran army, and Innovation has to run back. And from here on out, in my opinion, if you do everything perfectly like Zest did, if you scout, if you react appropriate to the situation, if you see that the Terran will not be pushing you, do everything that Zest just did. If you see some immediate kind of push with Marine tank with no stem and medevacs or Liberators, like I mentioned in when I was playing earlier, make sure you can boost Immortals, warp out of those 3 gateways, maybe even delay your 3rd a little bit, to just kind of be able to defend that first push the Terran will do, and then you continue your build as you know, as normal. No need to change up anything. Templar Archives coming down, 4th base is already up, and +2/+2, so everything is going pretty well. He's adding 4 more gates to +12, adding High Templars, and from here on out he should be able to hit, and that's what you should aim for as well, to hit kind of a strong timing with +2/+2. I'm going to speed things up a little bit and just kind of try to kill the Terran. Again, because of all these observers, he knows where the Terran army is, so he can face it pretty easily, not get caught off guard, and just kind of absolutely wipe out the Terran army. He's going to this kind of desperation move at this point from Innovation, because he sees that Zest is on 4 base, so he feels like he needs to do something. He goes for this kind of drop, but gets cleaned up in the end, and even though he's a little bit behind in supply, he still manages to clean everything up. The upgrades are in his favor right now. He's already getting 3/3, and from here on out, getting a 5th base while the Terran is still on 3 base. The beauty of this build is, even if you kind of lose engagements or trade poorly, you will still be fine, because you have more economy and you can kind of reinforce very, very quickly. You saw earlier, Zest dropped down to 20 less supplied in Innovation, and now with just a couple of warpins, he's ahead once again. He started producing some Immortals as well. This is first immortal actually. You know, he has money, so why not? Another option you can do is add another robo facility and robo bay and start Colossus. Because if your opponent focuses on ghosts like Innovation is, you can kind of tech switch from High Templar to Colossus and then make those ghosts kind of not as effective as they would, because you will have that extra AoE that Terran simply won't be able to deal with. And the reason for that is Terran just doesn't have economy at this point, right? You have way better economy, so if you kind of tech switch back and forth, he won't have enough money to produce another starport, more Vikings to kill your Colossus, and you will get to your ultimate lovely death ball of just, you know, Gateway, Archon, High Templar, and Colossus army. That's it. We'll be picking up these medevacs. Sad, lonely medevac. Oh, he runs away. Very nice. But yeah, that was it. That was it for my first Protoss kind of not only build order guide, but just playstyle guide in the new patch in Protoss vs. Terran. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new today. If you would like to see more Protoss guides in the future, no matter what the matchup is, no matter if it's a build order guide or playstyle or just in general Protoss guide for anything, please let me know down below in the comments. Once again, I'll be posting this replay in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to check out all my other YouTube videos. There's a lot of content for Protoss players as well, even though it's, you know, mainly Terran channel. But that's it. Hope you guys have a nice day. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.